Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. You know, over the years, we have featured some very interesting museums across the Lone Star State, but when we found this feature in Fort Worth, we wanted to shed some light on it. So we went over to the Fort Worth Stockyards to check out a light bulb that's been burning bright for quite some time. The Fort Worth Stockyards are synonymous with longhorn steer. Twice a day, these big old cattle are led down Exchange Avenue as sort of a spectacle as to what business was like here in the early 1900s. But for a more historical look at the story of the stockyards, moseying into the old livestock exchange building will continue your cattle drive through time.
This building was actually dubbed the Wall Street of the West because so much money passed through here.
Teresa Burleson is the director of the Stockyards Museum, and she's got the credentials to tell this story.
I am a fifth-generation Texan.
Very cool.
And proud of it.
Darn right.
I love history. I love our heritage. And I love the colorful people that make up our history.
Since 1989, the North Fort Worth Historical Society has been the point rider for this small museum that tells the story of how different the stockyards used to be.
This picture was taken in December of 1949
Wow.
by a man named Skeet Richardson.
That is unreal.
That yellow dot is where you're at right now. That's the building you're in right now. This was the Armor packing plant. That was the Swift packing plant. There were over 2,600 cattle pens behind this building at one time. When people see that picture, they suddenly become aware of how huge these stockyards were. I mean, they were the third largest in the nation. Chicago was first, Omaha was second, Fort Worth was third.
While this rich history is a big draw, there are a few other oddities that you might not expect to find here.
We have artifacts from what you would find in a home in the early 1900s. Then we have things that are a little bizarre, like the bad luck wedding dress and the light bulb that's been burning 108 years.
Yeah, those are some random things.
Yes.
Well, where does one start? Lex, go ahead and get that bad luck out of the way.
This is the bad luck wedding dress.
Okay, don't get too close.
The bad luck wedding dress has nothing whatsoever to do with the stockyards. But the lady that inherited it did not want it in her house, and so she brought it to us.
So every bride that wore this eventually lost their husband or became sick.
Yes. Out of the 4 people that had the bad luck, 3 of them lost their husband, and 1 lady became sick.
So I'm sure by the time the third person got married in this, that husband was a little nervous.
Yeah, I would have been.
Yeah!
We have it under the plexiglass to keep the bad mojo in there.
That's the key, the bad mojo collector. So this is the bulb.
This is the famous Palace Theater light bulb, and you know it has its own Facebook page too.
Hey, that's official.
Yes, yes.
So it's 108 years it's been burned.
Yes, and we do have it on a dimmer. It could be brighter.
But you don't want to chance it going out forever.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's gonna last forever.
You think?
Yes.
So what's the key to making a light bulb last 108 years?
That the filament is made from tungsten, and when it was made, it was there was a vacuum that sucked all the moisture out of it, and that's one of the reasons it's lasted so long.
This bulb has been burning bright since 1908, when a stagehand screwed it into a socket at the old Briars Opera House, later known as the Palace Theater. Considering this is the second longest running light bulb in the world, don't expect to get a hand on it.
So it's
Don't touch it.
Oh, sorry. It was lighting up my life.
Well, now you can leave and say, you saw the light.
I saw the light.
This is the time things really started to lighten up.
We don't take it lightly.
I think the light went off.
No, it didn't.
Just kidding. Oh, there is the dimmer.
No, we're not turning it off.
No, not off.
We're not gonna turn it, I'm not touching it.
You light up my life. Is it kind of crazy to you that people come from all over the world to see a light bulb?
I think I've gotten used to it.
So don't be turned off by the idea of seeing this old light bulb, because it's actually quite illuminating. And well worth a stop on the Texas Bucket List.
When you go out, you can sing, I saw the light. Do not put that on television.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.